Okay, good morning and welcome to today's actual Mishna Yomi. Today we're doing Mesachas Shumas Perek Daled, Mishnayos Yud Aleph and Yud Beis. Continuing what we talked about in the previous two Mishnayos. Yud Aleph, Sa Truma Shenafla Al Pi Megura Ukefa. Let's say you had a barrel, let's say of fig cakes, right, 100, and now one of Truma falls on top of it, so now you have 100 to 1. And without even thinking, you just took the top one off. Like you said before in the previous Mishnah, that 100 to 1 ratio is considered a mixture, even one pile on top of another. You know exactly where it is. It was bata, one echad b'meya, you separated. Rishul Omer lo sala. He says, if you just took it off really quickly without making sure you took off the right amount, so it doesn't work. But however, if before you take it off, this is what the Rav Vadi Bartanura says, you have to, when you take it off, according to Rabbi Yeshua, obviously, you know where the truma is here. It's not a suffix. Like the previous Mishnah, we don't know which pile the truma is, and here you know where the truma is. You know it's on top. But you have to make sure. It's not good enough to just do a chazaka, assume. We don't rely on chazakas over here, the assumption that you took it off. You have to make sure, have a definitive proof to take not just a saw, but a little more than a saw to make sure that you definitely took off truma. We're going to discuss in Ina Mishnah what exactly is the shita of Rabbi Yeshua. Why can't you rely on a chazaka? Why do you have to need a specific proof, 100% or 80% proof that you took off the truma? So according to Rabbi Yeshua, when do we say that there's bittul echad b'meya? Saying ola ayin nafla. He would say if there's a lack of knowledge, you don't know if it's even in there. Or if you know it's in there, you just don't know where it fell, so then we could be makel and rely on bittul b'meya, or the hafrasha of one of them to release it from the status of the dimua. Yud beis, shtei kupos, shtei maguros. Let's say you have two boxes. Each of them has 50 saw of chulin. Or shtei maguros, you have two storehouses, each with 50 saw, or 50 measurements of chulin. Shenafel start truma l'stok achad, and truma fell into one of them, and you don't know which box it fell into or which storehouse it fell into. The big chiddush of this Mishnah is that even though they're in two, the boxes are in two different rooms, right? Since the common practice is eventually you're going to mix the boxes together, so therefore it's considered like already you have 100 to 1 ratio, and therefore you can take out one saw of truma from either one of them, or half from each of them, and it would be good enough to be mafresh truma. The Rav points out that when it comes to maguros, it's only if they're in the same room, but in two rooms, you don't generally mix them together. He says, he argues on Tanakama, even if the two storehouses are in two different cities, we view it as one. We don't pass on like Rav Shimon because it's dependent on the fact that they're going to be mixed together, and it's really 100 to 1. We don't know where in the 101 it is. That was the conclusion of today's shir. See, in the Mishnah, we'll talk more explaining this first Mishnah, exactly what Rabbi Yeshua means that you have to take off the top part and a little more. Why a little more?